Good morning. I'm Carmen Martin, Public Information Officer for the Essex County Prosecutor's Office. We're here today to provide additional details regarding the arrest of a suspect in connection with the tragic and fatal shooting of a 9-year-old boy in Newark last Friday. Speaking today are Essex County Prosecutor Theodore N. Stevens II, our Chief of Detectives Mitchell G. McGuire III, Newark Public Safety Director Emmanuel Miranda, and followed by Newark Mayor Raz Baraka. We're also pleased to have Chief James Spango from the Essex County Sheriff's Office with us as well. I turn to Prosecutor Stevens now.
Thank you, Carmen. Good morning, everyone. First, I want to give our condolences to the heartbroken family on behalf of the Essex County Prosecutor's Office. Gun violence is still a scar on our community which never seems to heal. No matter how good our intentions, our great ideas, the strides we think we make, all of our best intentions, it seems like the next episode of gun violence just threatens to undo everything that we've done to get to a more positive place. It's fleeting. Irrespective of our motive or circumstances that we're dealing with, the killing of any person commands the immediate attention from the Essex County Prosecutor's Office. However, when the victim is an innocent 9-year-old beautiful child like Yassine Morrison, that sends a shockwave throughout the entire community, and that demands that we give our absolute best effort to bring that perpetrator to justice, which we believe we have done. At least we've begun that process. It is not enough just to send our prayers reaching out to the family, but we must rededicate ourselves to make sure we find that ultimate goal of finding a lasting solution to the problems of our gun epidemic and the senseless violence that all too often permeates our community, so that ultimately our community can take its rightful place in a free and a just society. So yesterday, through the stalwart efforts of the Essex County Prosecutor's Office, our investigative staff did an excellent job to arrest and bring charges against Jesse Dunbar. This effort has been one that I know firsthand from going to the scene that evening, because again, when a 9-year-old child dies in this manner, you have to stop everything you're doing and go to that immediately. And I know the effort was incredible on behalf of everyone involved, from the Essex County Prosecutor's Office, certainly the Newark Police Division, and everyone involved to really get us to the point where we could bring this to the kind of a solution which hopefully brings some kind of salve to the entire community, and especially the family. So since this was just such an effort, especially with our investigators, I want our Chief of Detectives to come forward and to also give some comments with regard to his staff, which did an excellent, excellent job. Chief.
Thank you, Prosecutor. First, I want to say as a father, this was a heinous crime. A 9-year-old boy coming home from school, his life was taken for no good reason. People have asked us, what's the motive? We don't know yet, but I can tell you that there is no motive that justifies what happened. I'd like to, as you can see behind me, I have the homicide squad and the assistant prosecutors that handled this case. They did not go home. They did not stop. With the help of the Newark Police Department, their shooting response team, they did not go home. They did not stop. And we were lucky enough and skilled enough to be able to bring this guy to justice. It's not going to change what happened, but it's a small token of what we can do to bring some justice to this heinous crime. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Again, in everything that we do here, our partners, our greatest partners in the County of Essex is the Newark Police Division, Public Safety Director Miranda, who I first met when he was actually embedded here, is the new leader there, doing an excellent job, and certainly his people were instrumental in getting us to this point. So, Director Miranda, would you please come forward and give some remarks?
Thank you, Prosecutor. Good morning. So I want to thank the Prosecutor, Theodore Stevens, I want to thank Chief McGuire and the whole Essex County Prosecutor's Office Homicide Task Force for the work that they did from the very onset. They were out there, the team was out there. We relocated resources from within the Newark Police Division to assist with the investigation, especially when you have an 8-year-old that gets killed and a 9-year-old that gets killed in the line of, in the city of Newark is devastating and it's very traumatic. So it's something that we have to bring to a close quickly for the community and for our department. So that day, I immediately reached out to the sheriff department. They offered the $10,000 reward that same night. I had every agency from the state police to the federal government calling for any assistance that they could give for this investigation. So I commend the men and women of the Homicide Task Force, of the Newark Police Division, of the officers that responded to that scene that day, didn't wait for the ambulance. They just picked up the child and transported him straight to the hospital to get him help. To the medical staff, I want to thank them for all their work that they did in trying to save his life. So it was a team effort all the way around. I want to thank the mayor for his full commitment and the support to the Homicide Task Force. I also want to thank the Office of Violence Prevention and Trauma Recovery for all their assistance to the family. They've been with the family since day one, and all through the week, they have held multiple vigils at the local church and also in the street. So Yasin did not die in vain. And this will never be normal where an 8-year-old can live in the city of Newark and unfortunately get shot. It's not normal. It will never be normal. You will have the full length of the whole public safety and law enforcement come after you. So I want to thank them, and I also want to continue to offer our prayers and comfort and deepest condolences to the victims and the families. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Miranda.
Thank you.
And just foreshadowing what I would say next, certainly the Office of Violent Prevention is an innovation that I first heard of in Newark. It may have been done other places, but I'm not sure where. But it continues to be one of the differences that helps make this community safer. And that was all done under the leadership of Mayor Raz Baraka, and I know that he wants to say something on behalf of his residents. Mayor Baraka.
Thank you. I just want to thank the Essex County Prosecutor, Chief of Detectives here, our Public Safety Director, the fine men and women, the Essex County Prosecutor's Office, their task force, the Homicide Task Force in the city of Newark, Robbery Squad, all of the folks that participated and helped bring justice to this family and to our community today. Speaking as the mayor, just echoing what our Public Safety Director said, that these incidents will not go unanswered, that we would allow people to come and be reckless in our community, to endanger the people in our city and take the lives of innocent children, that we will come after you, and we will come after you hard and quick. And so I am happy in a sense that all of us collectively got together to figure out how to make that happen so that people can realize, yeah, you may attempt to do something, but we know in our power, we're not going to let you get away with it. As a resident and as a father, I'm deeply hurt. I was at the hospital that evening. It was troubling, traumatizing. The family, watching them, in their grief, brought grief to me, brought grief to my house when I went home and told my family about it. It brought grief to my office when I talked to my secretaries about it. People stop and shed tears immediately because our community is big but small, and the taking of a 9-year-old's life, it is heart-wrenching to anybody that has any sense of humanity. So all of us collectively wanted something to be done. So again, I thank everybody that stands behind me for doing what everybody wanted to happen. Again, we can't bring the young man back, but we certainly can make people pay for taking the lives of innocent folks in our city. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you. So this collective effort, no matter how successful it has been to bring a perpetrator to justice, is never satisfying. I've stood here way too many times dealing with talking about a homicide that happened. That's the way of the world. It just doesn't happen in Essex County. It happens everywhere. But of course, we take it extremely personally here. We feel like, again, we feel like we're moving in the right direction in terms of what the statistics may say over the years, but every time something like this happens, it just brings you back to reality that we have so much more to do. So I'm available for a few questions if there are any.
Hello. Can you tell us if the reward money helped in capturing this man, or how did you find out? Was there a tip?
No claim for the reward as of yet. Who knows? Someone may come forward with something. This was a dogged effort of police, hardcore police effort. I mean, this was the sort of thing that life is, truth is stranger than fiction, as they say. So anything you've seen on TV in terms of law and order pales in comparison to the efforts that these folks behind me did. This was just hardcore, on the ground, dogged police work, period.
Mr. Prosecutor, do you have any idea who the intended target of that bullet was? And can you give us any information about the 36-year-old, the man who was with Yassine when the shooting happened? Was he the intended target?
At this point, it's still part of the intended investigation, but that was his father who was with him. That was just a simple situation where that child was being left off to go to another relative's house. So it doesn't appear, he just appears to be the most innocent of bystanders, as opposed to someone who was an intended target. Or
No, the family had no
family
idea.
had no idea, nothing.
How far away was he? And in what direction? Obviously, we know what direction he was shooting, but were there other people on the street with it?
There was a great distance between where the alleged shooter was and where the bullet wound up shooting Yassine. It's the most stark example that bullets do not have anybody's name on it, and that an indiscriminate shooting of a gun can lead to unintended consequences, but they're reckless, and so that's not enough. And from our estimation, from our position, that it may have been unintended. That has nothing to do with it.
Did he express any remorse when he was taken into custody? Did he resist? What were the circumstances of his arrest?
Well,
If you can elaborate.
Yeah, we took him into custody without incident. That's all I can say about that.
Was there a third person also grazed, or was it just the two, the father and son?
There was another person who.
Yeah, there were two people shot.
Yep.
The father was not one of them.
The father was not one of them. Two other people shot.
Yes.
Yeah, it was the
Were
deceased
they
and one other
the-
person.
One other person shot.
Yeah.
Two people shot.
The other person, was that the intent? That person the intended target?
Still part
Still,
of the
yes.
investigation.
Yeah. Still part of the investigation. All right. Thank you all.
Is there a court appearance?
Well, once that's scheduled, we'll put that out.
It was the criminal justice reform demands it. It's a very quick hearing, so it'll come up very soon.
Just really quickly, how many people, and this isn't the whole team obviously, how many people do you think worked on this case from the day it happened?
Well over the 20 to 30 people directly involved at the scene, and probably another 50 behind the scenes, from intel to many different resources.
Was he taken into custody in his home? Was he somewhere else?
He was somewhere else.
Was he somewhere else?
Pat, you're good. You're good.
I like that.
Yeah, Pat, you're good.
I like that.
Location at this point.
That's right. You got it.
Thank you so much.